is Oscar from Underdog. Today what I want us to do together is make something like this. A little sound sculpture, a little sonic postcard to someone that we love or to our future selves. Wait, let me explain better. Hey everyone, this is Oscar from Underdog, and today we're going to do a little exercise. I want to give you some homework. I want you to follow along. It is my birthday, so it's a special edition. It's going to be a little bit strange, but I think you're going to like it. So you know how you probably have about 100 unfinished songs lying around your hard drive, not going anywhere, not doing anything for anyone? Well, today I want us to make a little miniature, a little sketch that is going to be useful. Maybe not to send to a label and to release, but we're going to do something unique. I want you to make a little postcard, a little sort of sonic message in a bottle that you can send to someone that you love, or to your future self. It can be a kind of a time capsule. And just for fun, I'm going to coin a new genre name. I'm going to call it confessional techno, or maybe Journalwave, or maybe Sharecore. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Let's get into it. I'm going to explain you some concepts and I'm going to illustrate them in Reason because I am now a Reason ambassador. You can follow along with this tutorial if you get the Reason Plus subscription. It's about $20 a month and there's an affiliate link in the description below. But I'm going to explain this concept by concept, so if you don't want to use Reason, you can use whatever you want. So let's not get hung up on specific tools. So you open up your DAW, in this case Reason, and you find yourself a synthesizer, and you find yourself a synthesizer preset that's got a kind of a mild, not too aggressive sound to it. Possibly some kind of preset that has the word lead or pluck in it. You can trial these sounds by hitting F4 and then using your keyboard as a MIDI input device. So you browse through some sounds until you find something suitably mellow. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to create some polymetric patterns with this. Do you remember what a polymeter is? One of my first videos here goes into this in a lot more detail, but just to remind you, a polymeter is basically a musical pattern that repeats in a way that it's not a clear multiple of a one-bar loop. Assuming that a lot of your music is built up around the structural part of one bar, which is usually just like 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. A lot of music uses this as a standard convention. Well, then a polymeter would be a pattern that, for instance, is made up of 5 beats before it loops back to the start. Adding a polymeter to your song can give it rhythmical interest and can capture the ear's attention for a much longer time than simple multiples of one bar loop could. Because we understand that there is some kind of mathematical relationship between these two patterns, and our ear stays sort of solving the problem forever, and it just doesn't get stale very quickly at all. So that's what we're going to do. And so the result that I'm trying to get to is to put two polymeters next to each other with the same synthesizer sound so that they seem to almost endlessly permutate and change and shift patterns against each other. And I want both of these polymeters to use notes from the minor scale so that the overall mood that comes out of these patterns is going to be kind of mellow, introspective mood. You could use a major scale for something a bit more uplifting, but in this case, I'm going to go for something a bit more introspective. And so to jam out some nice polymeter patterns in Reason, what I would suggest is that we use a player device, which is kind of like a sequencer, a player device, which is called the Pattern Mutator. And what the Pattern Mutator does is you fill in a couple of notes and then you ask the Pattern Mutator to generate secondary patterns based on that. And so we can just hit mutate, 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 mutate until something just feels right. So we'll go to that synth from earlier. We'll drag the player device above the synth because that's where you put player devices in Reason. Then you make sure that your MIDI keyboard is enabled. We're going to hit step record, and then we're going to play a few notes, and we're going to just play some notes from the minor scale. So in this case, what I'm going to play is some C minor notes. This is like my go-to. I would play the C, I'll play the flat E, I'll play the G, and the flat A. That's a very safe couple of notes that immediately is going to evoke the minor scale. Now I can tweak the parameters of the mutator device and hit mutate, and it's going to start generating not quite random patterns, but variations on what I just did with different feelings to them. I can also set the number of steps to a polymetric amount. So if I set it to an unusual number of 16th notes, then it's going to loop around in that exact polymetric way that we're looking for this exercise. And so this is literally all I gotta do. Tweak some parameters, hit mutate until something feels right. Once I'm pretty happy with one of these synth layers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new mix channel. Mix channels are Reason's way of organizing your instruments, right? So every instrument would go into its own mix channel. You create a new mix channel and basically repeat the same process. If you play similar notes as the input pattern for this next pattern, the mutation of that will also be something that's pretty complementary with the first one. You'll make sure that the polymetric length that you set it to is not the same as the first pattern, and then you're going to feel these two patterns bounce off of each other slowly but surely, and it's going to create this infinite soundscape vibe texture that is characteristic of this genre which we call Journalwave or Sharecore. Now by this time this should be giving you some feelings, and that's what we're really all here to do. Remember, music is not about being a good technical producer. Music is about feeling feelings and communicating those feelings to others. So let's do that. Now I want you to journal over this. I want you, and you might not be comfortable with this, but I want you to turn on your microphone. This might be out of your comfort zone, but I want you to give it a try. Put this on headphones and turn on your microphone on a new recording channel and start sharing a little bit. Start sharing your personal thoughts. Share whatever is on your mind. It can be a positive thing, it can be a negative thing, it can be a vulnerable thing, it can be an aggressive thing, it can be whatever's on your mind. I want you to journal it. Journal out loud as if you were journaling on paper, but just take the time in this sea of introspective polymeters to just sit with your emotions and record for a while as you do a bit of a brain dump. Feel free to add some percussion to this as well, because the stability of a percussive pattern works especially well in contrast with the ambiguity of these polymeters. Now, once you've created this little piece of sound art, turn it into the simplest little composition on the timeline that you can. Make sure to render it to audio and then save it somewhere inside a little journaling folder as a time capsule for your future self, so you can remember what kind of a headspace you were in right now in 2022, or whenever you're watching this video. Or maybe send the MP3 to the person who the message is directed at. Maybe it's a little capsule of emotions that you want to send to someone. Today wasn't about making music that's going to be released on a label. Today was about making music that's just going to touch maybe one person, maybe yourself, maybe someone that you care about. If you're brave enough, come to our Discord channel and share what you did. I'd love to see what people actually do with this homework and the range of art that it generates. I'm going to play my version at the end of this video. If you want to learn more generally how to make electronic music, follow my Foundations of Electronic Music course here. Like the video to wish me happy birthday, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell icon also for my birthday. Go check out my own techno project right here. And until next time, stay producing, be good to one another, and take care. Bye-bye. Alright, Journalwave, let's share something. So, to tell you a little bit about what's been up with me recently, I've been missing my mom, really. That's something that's on my mind. Yesterday was my birthday and got a nice message of her singing happy birthday for me. And she lives in another country, so I only get to see her like once or twice a year. Especially with COVID, it's been hard being separate from her. And I really, really hope she's doing okay. If people are listening to this, make sure to call your mom. If my mom hears this, Mom, I love you. It's weird sharing this, especially on the YouTube channel. But I really kind of hope other people will join in and share a little bit and make some stuff like this, because I think it could be a bit unique, a bit of an opportunity. Sometimes we get too caught up in trying to make impressive music or music that's supposed to do something on the dance floor, but sometimes it's nice to just come back and think about what's really up. And yeah, that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next week. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for being on the journey with me. Come say hi.